Yo, what's good? What's going on, man? Shout out to everybody, man, that subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all the love, man. We got to talk about a big story going on right now in entertainment, in the hip hop culture, man. So Taxstone, man. Taxstone was sentenced today. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison, man, for the murder of Ronald McFadden, aka Banger, a close friend of Troy Ave. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know, there was a lot of rumblings going on that, you know, Tax was looking at it about 20 years. He's been in jail for about 5 to 6 years now, and that the time that he's been in would be kind of like counted towards whatever he would be sentenced. So he would pretty much get time served. But according to, you know, the information that I read, it's not the case. But I have an article here from Billboard that I want to share with y'all. It says that the podcaster in the 2016 shooting at Irving Plaza came after years of feuding between the hip-hop podcaster and Brooklyn rapper Troy Ave. Okay, a Manhattan judge on Tuesday, June 20th, sentenced the rapper I don't know why they call him Taxstone a rapper. He's not a rapper, he's a podcaster. Y'all out of pocket for that. Podcaster Taxstone to 35 years in prison following his conviction earlier this year on manslaughter charges over the 2016 fatal shooting of rapper Troy Ave's bodyguard during the T.I. concert at Irving Plaza. Okay. Daryl Campbell was convicted in March of shooting and killing 33-year-old Ronald McFadden and seriously injuring 3 others, a crime that prosecutors said stemmed from Taxstone's long-standing feud with rapper Troy Ave, whose real name is Ronald Collins. Daryl Campbell used a firearm to target his rival, which led to the loss of a life and seriously injuring 2 innocent bystanders. The district attorney said in a statement Tuesday, gun violence cannot be used as a way to address conflict. The toll of guns continue to be a staggering high, and it's horrific that a night out at a concert ended tragically. Kenneth Montgomery, Campbell's lawyer, told Billboard in a brief statement that his client would be appealing the conviction. Justice wasn't served. Prosecutors say that Campbell, best known as Tax Season Podcast, confronted Collins in the green room at the Irving Plaza event shortly before Collins was set to open for T.I. He allegedly shot McFadden in the chest, fatally wounding him before shooting Collins both legs during the struggle for the gun. A man and a woman were also allegedly hit, seriously wounded both. Damn, man. It's not good, bro. You know, they went ahead and they pulled up, you know, things from his old podcast when, you know, he was trolling Troy Ave and talking about, you know, if a dude run up on me with 6 dudes, you know, you're going to get bang, 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 pow, 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 you know. And they used that in a court of law, man. And, you know, a lot has been said, you know, with Troy Ave pretty much taking a stand and, you know, pleading his case of self-defense. You know, basically, Troy Ave kind of told on himself because he also said, you know, when they walked in the green room, they saw Tax. And Troy said, Banger said, yo, you want me to get him? And Troy said, get him. And that's when Banger went and stepped to Tax. And according to this article here, they have it written as Tax stepped to Troy Ave and Banger. No, I don't recall reading anything in the transcripts where there was someone that testified that Troy Ave was indeed the aggressor and that, you know, Taxstone was just pretty much to himself, minding his business. Once, you know, Troy Ave and Banger walked in the room, that's when everything escalated. So I don't know. You know, it's kind of like their word versus his word, and I don't know, you know, but ultimately, you know, the one thing that they have, and that I believe did not work good in Tax's favor, a couple of things, is that they have video surveillance of him trying to get into the venue with that gun on him. And he's trying to get through certain exit doors without being searched by the security. That's a huge red flag, and that's a huge problem for Irving Plaza and for Live Nation, which are being sued currently right now by Troy Ave. And I'm pretty sure now that, Tax has been sentenced and found guilty, there will be more lawsuits to come, from people that were injured in that melee, people that may have been suffering from depression or, post-traumatic stress, or whatever the case may be from the gunshots. It could be a lot, bro. It could be a whole lot. It could be a whole lot, man. And who knows? It could be a civil suit coming or already in the works. It's just a bad situation, man. Taxstone had the podcast game in the palm of his hands, man. Like, he was the hottest smoking thing on the scene. You had the Juan Epstein podcast, you had the Joe Budden podcast, but Tax brought a whole different element to the game, man. And he was literally like on his way to being like the top head honcho in the podcast world. Like, he was the first one that I saw going and doing tours, like going to different cities and doing live shows and things of that nature. He had the merchandise, he had a slogan, he had a really distinct voice, and his dialogue and conversations, of course he would troll and talk his shit, but he would also have very serious moments on his podcast. And he talked about mental health and, the trauma that a lot of us, black people and, people of color that suffer from, he would have those different balances on his podcast. And that's one of the things that I really loved and enjoyed about him, and his transparency, and him just being so open and honest with his audience and with himself. I never got the vibes. He never struck me as somebody that was perpetrating a fraud, or somebody that was just, saying anything for views or anything of that nature. If he didn't like something, he was going to state it, and he was going to make it be known that he didn't like it. I think it's just a very sad situation. I hope that people, especially young people, man, that's, in your teens and your 20s, you see this type of shit, man, learn from it. Learn from it, man, because this man, regardless, he says he's going to appeal this and he's not going to do the whole 35. At the end of the day, bro, you got 35 years. And yes, you have to appeal it, but appeals take time. At the end of the day, he's not going to be able to go home to his family. He's going to stay right there in that cell, probably sharing with somebody. Once he goes to whatever location, I believe he was on Rikers Island, but now that he's sentenced, he's probably going to go to some upstate jail. And on top of that, well, before I even get to that, you still have to deal with the politics in the jail. The politics from the family and the affiliates of Ronald McFadden. Pretty sure it's people that's waiting for you to come there to the jail. And I don't believe somebody of Tax magnitude is not a superstar status to the point where he's going to be in protective custody. He's probably going to be on population. Not to say that Tax is not tapped in with certain people in the prison system, but I'm just saying that's just more things you have to worry about and be conscious about. But also, on top of that, he still has a case that he needs to see a federal judge for the actual gun itself. So I guess this sentence was just for the killing of Ronald McFadden and also injuring 2 other innocent bystanders, but he also still has to go to a judge and, be sentenced for the gun possession. He pled guilty to that. He didn't take it to trial. So I guess the federal system was waiting to see how things panned out with the state case. Now, if the state case is over, now he's looking to face the federal judge and find out what is his punishment going to be for the gun case. Now, he could get additional time on top of that, which I think will probably end up happening. How much time, I don't know, but I highly doubt that the feds are going to be a little bit more lenient than the state. I'm very shocked that he even got 35 years. That just leads me to believe that Troy Ave is under the assumption that he's only going to do a year in jail. I don't think so. I think Troy Ave is going to end up doing at least 5 to 10 years, because you got to think about it, Troy. You know, you may have not brought the gun into the venue, but you ended up disabling the individual and taking the gun. You took that gun and fired off shots in that room. Then you went and chased after Tax and fired more shots into an open crowd. So that's a bunch of charges itself right there, regardless if you claim it's self-defense. You know, the laws in New York is very strict, you know, with gun laws and things of that nature. You cannot have a weapon in places, establishments that serve alcohol, schools, you know, airports, you know, certain airports, you know, if you have a certain, you know, documentation, but, you know, you just, certain places, any places that serve alcohol, mean like the club and things of that nature, you cannot have a gun. You know, but it's no excuse, you know. I'm just saying, as far as Troy Ave, even though he may not brought a gun inside, he still took a gun off of an individual and fired shots back. I see his sentence being a little bit hefty than just the 1 year, but it's a very sad situation for Tax, bro. Tax is like in his, you know, late 30s, you know, 35 years. Man, the man gonna be pushing 70 by the time he get out. You know, it's gonna be no podcast. I'm pretty sure he might do the podcast from jail, you know, just maybe do like a 3-way call, or he gets some type of device that he can record his vocals on. I don't know, but it's just a very bad situation, man. You know, I'm a big fan of Tax. I'm a big fan of Troy Ave. You know, it's just very, very fucked up, man. And, you know, a mother lost a son, a brother lost a brother, and a child lost a father, man. Nobody wins in the end. Nobody, you know. But let me know how y'all feel in the comment section about this shit, man. Talk to me, man. We also got to talk about Casanova, man. I read some really interesting information. I've heard the stories about him. So we're going to talk about that, man. But let me know in the comment section how you feel about Taxstone. Do you think his appeal will go through fast? Do you think he can appeal this sentence and get it, you know, the years shaved down? I don't know. Talk to me. Let me know what y'all think, man. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like. Hit the share. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ace is Working on Instagram and Twitter. It's your boy Acito, and I'm out of here. Peace.